who's here to join us here on this Friday. Michael Cook, our very own movie critic, our Rotten Tomato. He's not a Rotten Tomato. He just throws them sometimes. We got one called Trap. It's a Trap. And different movie, right?
Yeah.
And also Purple Crayon.
Let's start with Trap first. This is premiering today at your local movie theater. This is directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Here, the premise of the story is Josh Hartnett plays a father taking his daughter to see a concert by somebody named Lady Raven. Just imagine her as a Taylor Swift, you know, kind of mega pop star. He's there at this massive convention hall, and it seems that the police are there trying to find a serial killer, and it turns out, it's not a giveaway because it's in the trailer, that Josh Hartnett is that serial killer known as the Butcher. And all the police are there trying to find him.
You mean her dad?
Yeah, exactly, her dad. And he is trying to figure out a way to get out of this this convention hall or auditorium, you know, away from the cops. The first two acts with Josh Hartnett trying to figure out how can he scheme away and get behind, and all the kind of cat and mouse games he's trying to play is somewhat interesting. However, the third act, this movie just absolutely falls apart. You know, there are a lot of just major plot holes and ridiculous. There you see the T-shirt vendor. In this movie, the T-shirt vendor knows that the police are there to catch the serial killer. I mean, it's not a big secret if the T-shirt vendor knows that there's a big
Does he know he's the killer?
On. No, he doesn't know that, that he's the killer. In the third act, I mean, if you've just seen a couple of episodes of Law and Order, you would know that the ridiculousness of the plot and the script and the things that they do and what the cops do, it's just an utter mess of a movie. Josh Hartnett does a good job. I will say this, as you know, he seems like he is a likable character, but yet at the same time, he's an absolute killer, which is what you needed in that character, to go from a kind of the protagonist to the antagonist. But just skip this movie. M. Night Shyamalan usually does good flicks, but this is not particularly good. He doesn't have the skills to make for a good thriller, and just the massive plot holes in this movie make for a poor waste of your time. So I give it a 4 out of 10.
Well, I didn't know I was going to foreshadow the fact that you're going to throw some tomatoes today. Man,
it was not good.
That one's rotten.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to Purple Crayon.
Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Oh, Harold and the Purple Crayon.
This is loosely based on the 1950s children's book. Here it starts off, there is Harold has a purple crayon where he can draw whatever he wants in imagination. They're in kind of animation land. He talks to his creator, voiced by Alfred Molina, who all of a sudden the creator stops talking to him. So Harold and his friends decide to go to the real world to try to find their creator. Zachary Levi plays Harold in the real world, and he goes about trying to find his father, as it were. Bumps into Zooey Deschanel. Her character is a single mom, kind of, you know, constantly busy and harried, as it were. And they strike up a friendship on this quest to find Zachary Levi's character, to find his father. There, Lil Rel Howery rounds out the cast as his best friend Moose. He's a moose in the cartoon world, but a human being here. Look, this movie, it's a family movie and it's made for kids, so I understand I'm not the target demographic in this, but this was still just a bland film. It lacked any real magic, had no real sense of humor. I mean, the special effects were fun at times, but it just was boring. I think maybe if you're going to take your kids, I think some of your younger kids, like maybe 6 to 10, will probably still enjoy it because it has a lightness to it, but some of your older kids will just probably be bored like I was as this film progresses. Zachary Levi, I think he's a good actor. He does have good comedic timing, but he's not given enough to really, you know, to use his skills to make you laugh. So all in all, this was another disappointing film. I have to give this a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
So a little bit better than Trap, but you know, two different films. You have a family movie or a thriller, but neither particularly great this weekend.
So if somebody didn't watch the films reviewed last week, they should go watch those instead.
Exactly.
What was it last week?
I can't remember now.
But I know it was like 8. Both of them were like, one was a 9, one was an 8.5.
Yeah, they were both good ones, but
you had Deadpool.
Deadpool 2, yeah, 3, as it were.
3, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good film.
All right.
And Thelma.
And Thelma too.